Sydney's world-famous fireworks display is on the chopping block as pressure mounts on organisers to cancel the event over coronavirus fears. What is going on with the world? Joining us now is New South Wales Deputy Premier John Barilaro. John, this one's for you as well. I mean, come on. John, the party, is it over?
Karl, I tell you what, I don't want to see it happen, but the reality is, mate,
No.
how can you attract 1 million people to the harbour shores and do it in a safe way? We know it won't happen, and you know, we've seen what's happened in Victoria, the impact it'll have on our resources, on our community. The risk is far too high, and people are making plans for Christmas now and for New Year's, so it's better flagging this early. Yes, I'm in Tamworth at the moment, and the Country Music Festival has just been cancelled for next January. So this is the reality of the pandemic.
The hits keep coming. Isn't it too early to make that call?
Well, no, I don't think it is, because many families will be making decisions about what they do over Christmas and New Year's, and you know they'll be booking you know, restaurants or cafes, hotels, accommodation, you know, significant cost to family budgets. And if the draw card is the fireworks, and then you made a final decision to not go ahead with it, that would be the wrong thing to do.
Gee, it's a big
going
hit
to be
for
very difficult. Police are saying it, health experts are saying it.
Yeah.
Very difficult to police 1 million people on the foreshores.
OK, let's talk about the New South Wales-Victoria border front. A 50-kilometre bubble to be introduced from Friday. Community members are bound to be a little bit more happy about that decision, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is the trip that I went down to Albury a couple of weeks ago, 2 visits, came back, worked with the health experts to put in place the new border bubble, 50 kilometres either side of the border. We've picked up some of those other little local government areas that were originally excluded. It's better than a 2.5 kilometre bubble. It allows for those that live within the bubble to make that border as seamless as possible, more importantly, to get back to some level of normality, but with some level of protection for the rest of the state. OK,
let's head north of the Queensland-New South Wales border. What do you make of Anastasia Palaszczuk's hardline approach? Is there any give in that Mexican-style wall she's put up?
No, look, I was talking to the Education Minister this morning, our Education Minister, Sarah Mitchell, about a couple of issues with education on that border. Her counterpart seems to be holding firm on that side of the border. You know, we've put in place those changes on the Victorian-New South Wales border to show that we were prepared to make some changes so that I wouldn't be seen as a hypocrite when I come out and have a go at the Queensland Premier. And, you know, reading this morning with the announcement that the AFL Grand Final announcement will happen in Queensland, 400 AFL officials out of Corona Central, which is Melbourne, will go across the border into Queensland, yet you know, a young family can't get emergency health care across the border. I think Anastasia Palaszczuk continues to show politics trumps good policy, and I think she's undoing all her good work.
That sounds a bit tough, doesn't it?
No, not at all. I mean, how can you justify officials from Melbourne for an AFL Grand Final announcement and the AFL Grand Final and the finals themselves out of the one area that we know the coronavirus has community spread like we've never seen anywhere in this nation, and yet, you know, that young couple that we spoke about last week. Other examples of that happen each and every day. So I don't get it. I don't understand why the Premier of Queensland can't see it. Show some heart, show some ability to understand the impact this is having, and understand that that Queensland border is a seamless border. Health services are delivered in New South Wales for Queenslanders and vice versa. And it's just become now a bit of a joke that these borders are becoming a real problem for those communities that live on those borders. This isn't about just Queensland versus New South Wales. It's not state of origin. It's about people.
I'm pretty sure that Anastasia Palaszczuk will be saying to you, John, talk to the hand, but we could be wrong. Let's see what happens later in the day. Good on you, John. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate it. Ali.